I'm Caitlin Good from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. We're here in the Fresh from Florida Test Kitchen with Chef Justin to talk about different ways to prepare wild turkey.
Well, thank you, Caitlin. It's so wonderful to be here. I'm glad you guys are here with us, and we are super excited at Fresh from Florida to get to work with FWC on this amazing Florida Osceola turkey. What a cool thing to do. We've made all kinds of Fresh from Florida sides and dishes utilizing this turkey, including we have a green bean and mushroom and caramelized onion saute. We have this wonderful Asian turkey salad. We have some braised turkey legs here, and of course our classic turkey club sandwich, right? This beautiful braised Osceola turkey. And we also did a couple fun recipes that are a little different as well, like this turkey shepherd's pie and our Osceola turkey hash with a couple fried eggs on top, and then some cornbread and sausage stuffing. So we just want to demonstrate that there are so many wonderful recipes that you can make with this Osceola turkey. We want to encourage everybody to get creative and have fun with it.
Absolutely. So most of these birds are harvested in the spring. So we're going to talk a little bit about getting it from spring to Thanksgiving.
That's right. We got a lot to talk about from top to bottom with the Osceola turkey, including from freezing, thawing, handling, cooking, and serving, and of course all these wonderful recipes. So we got lots to talk about.
So we're not just talking about any wild turkey today, we're talking about an Osceola turkey. Roger Shields, our wild turkey program coordinator with FWC, is going to tell us a little bit more about this subspecies that makes Florida so unique.
Florida is home to two subspecies of wild turkeys, the eastern and the Osceola. The eastern wild turkey occurs in the northern Florida and the Panhandle and throughout the eastern United States. The Osceola wild turkey is also known as the Florida wild turkey because it only occurs in the Florida Peninsula. Because of that, people from across the country come to Florida to try and harvest a wild turkey. And thanks to conservative harvest regulations and good management, there are plenty of wild turkeys in Florida for people to enjoy. But that wasn't always the case. In fact, wild turkeys are a real conservation success story. Due to unregulated hunting and habitat destruction, wild turkeys were nearly wiped out across the United States in the early 1900s. Even here in Florida, wild turkey numbers reached really low points. Agencies like the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, with conservation partners including the National Wild Turkey Federation, work together to restore wild turkey numbers. And today, they are abundant and healthy. But good management and good habitat are still key to their success.
So most wild turkeys are harvested in the spring. Can you talk to us a little bit about freezing the bird so we can get it from the spring to Thanksgiving?
Usually in the field, the hunter will go ahead and field dress the turkey, right? So removing the feathers and those kind of things to get it ready to go into the freezer. So what we want to do with our turkey when it comes time to freeze it is to maybe take a little butcher's twine and kind of tie it up a little bit so you have this nice little package, and from there inside of a nice freezer bag, okay? And that'll give it some protection from any freezer burn. If you don't have a large freezer bag, then a couple of good trash bags or unscented plastic bags will work really well. We want to make sure it's wrapped well and in the deep part of your freezer. And then we need to move to thawing our bird, right? So after about 2 or 3 days in the fridge on thaw, what I like to do is go ahead and put it in my brine to let it finish thawing. A brine, you say, Chef? Well, yes. This is one of my favorite things. So basically, we're taking salt, sugar, Florida honey, a little orange juice, some fresh citrus, and we're making a brine, or it's kind of like a marinade, and we're gonna let the bird soak completely in there for about 12 to 24 hours would be optimal. And this is really going to help it with the cooking process and some of our forgiveness if we tend to overcook our turkey a little bit.
So is there a difference between cooking time?
So when cooking this bird, we do want to look at the times that we're cooking. A traditional turkey, 3 to 4 hours at 325 to 350 in your oven is enough to be done. When our turkey is in the oven, we actually want to pull it out at about 150, and that way when we set it down on the counter to rest, it'll continue to cook and it should go right to 160 and be finished perfectly. So our finishing temperature about 160. The bird is a little bit more lean than your traditional store-bought bird, but it's going to have way more flavor. So it really is phenomenal. I can't wait for you guys to try this.
So we talked a little bit about the difference between domestic and wild turkeys. Here's Roger Shields to tell us a little bit more.
Most people are familiar with what a domestic turkey looks like, and even though they're derived from wild turkeys look distinctly different in appearance. While some breeds of domestic turkeys still maintain similar coloration, they've been bred over generations for big, meaty bodies. In contrast, wild turkeys are much leaner and lighter in weight. Their legs are longer and thinner, and the fleshy parts of their head, the parts we call wattles and caruncles, are much reduced. Another difference with wild turkeys is that they can fly, which allows them to roost at night in trees, and if they can't run fast enough to get away from a predator, they can always fly.
So Chef Justin, I am so excited to hear a little bit more about all the dishes we have in front of us, particularly the shepherd's pie, because that's my favorite dish, but we've never cooked it with turkey before.
Oh, wow. Well, what a great opportunity. You know, super excited with this project to be able to get in the kitchen and come up with some fun recipes utilizing the entire Osceola turkey, right? So what we did is we have some recipes geared towards all different kinds of times of day and different kinds of eating, whether it's breakfast, brunch, dinner. We have a recipe for you, and it's going to be delicious, right? So over here, we wanted to do something fun. We have a little bit of Asian style turkey salad where we pulled some of the leftover breast meat and made a really beautiful dressing with sesame oil and all kinds of Florida vegetables, whether it's carrots or arugula. Really tasty, nice light salad. It's going to be great for a luncheon or brunch. We also have some traditional sides that we made with our fresh from Florida commodities like the green beans with sauteed mushrooms and caramelized onions. And of course, one of my favorites that I look forward to all the time, right? Our classic turkey sandwich. This one we put bacon on it as well with some thick sliced Florida tomatoes and a little bit of lettuce and a heavy slather of mayonnaise. We also have our beautiful turkey that's just been roasted in the oven, very traditional. Okay, it was brined for about 24 hours and we roasted about 350 degrees in the oven. Came out perfect at 160 degrees, nice and juicy, just a beautiful looking bird. Be happy to present this on a holiday table pretty much anywhere, right? Of course, we have our beautiful turkey gravy that we used some of the leftover pan juices from roasted turkey to make the gravy, which also gives tons of flavor. So let's talk about the shepherd's pie, huh? One of our favorites. So, you know, I really love a good shepherd's pie. Traditionally it has lamb, but we wanted to make this one with the Osceola turkey, and it's a great substitute. And you know what? Osceola turkey is amazing to substitute in just about any recipes. We created a bunch of fun ones here specifically designed for it, but we want to encourage you to have fun with this turkey, right? So our shepherd's pie here has carrots, Florida sweet corn, green beans, of course mashed potatoes, and our wonderful turkey meat, and we utilize some of the gravy for the sauce. Fun and easy, incredibly satisfying and yummy. We also wanted to create a kind of a more breakfast style dish, so we did this really cool turkey hash. So hash is mainly potatoes and peppers and onions. So we sauteed this up nice and crispy, added our pulled turkey that was left over into this, sauteed it all up, topped it with a couple fried eggs. What a delicious and fun dish. Another great side dish we have is this cornbread stuffing. You know, we wanted to make something a little bit different from your traditional stuffing, so we use cornbread and a little bit of sausage, some Florida sweet corn, peppers in here. And all these recipes are going to be on followfreshfromflorida.com. These recipes and many more on there.
Awesome. So when we're talking about maybe using a leftover turkey to make some of these recipes, is the white meat or dark meat particularly important when putting it in any of these recipes?
So here's kind of like my guideline, right? So with the dark meat, I like to use different methods like braising or maybe in stews for your dark meat, and then save the white meat for other things like maybe your sandwiches and your salads and your hash. But regardless of whether using the dark meat or the light meat of this wonderful Osceola turkey, you're going to get some great flavor, and your guests will sure to be excited about trying this amazing Florida turkey.
So the leg meat on this wild turkey is a little bit darker than a domestic turkey, and that has a lot to do with the way they live. Roger Shields is going to tell us a little bit more about that.
Even though wild turkeys are strong flyers, they still nest on the ground and spend most of their time there. In midday, they're often seen just loafing in the shade, but otherwise, they're usually on the move, searching for acorns, seeds, leaves, insects, and even small lizards and frogs. They eat such a wide variety of food that they never go hungry here in Florida, and there's really never any need to feed them. Wild turkeys are also social animals and are generally found in flocks of a few individuals to 20 or more. They form a pecking order within the flock, and it's a real treat if you're out hiking or bird watching and get to see them fighting and chasing each other to establish dominance. But they're just cool to see anytime you're out in the woods.
So wild turkeys are the ultimate in free-range organic food. Can you tell us a little bit more about how to use the whole bird?
Absolutely. You know, it's incredibly important to utilize the entire bird because it's really taken a lot of hard work for the hunter to go out there and harvest this turkey, field dress it, and to get to this final point. So some really great tips are you want to, make sure you carve all the meat off the bird and utilize it, whether you're cooking it then or later for some leftover recipes. But even after all the meat is already off on the bird, there is a ton of flavor in these bones. I would put them in a large stock pot with some onions, some celery, and some carrots, and cook it down and make a wonderful stock or broth that we can then cool down later and use in many other recipes to give some incredible flavor. So again, the importance of utilizing the entire bird cannot be understated.
Those are some great tips on how to use the whole bird. We have an abundant wild turkey population in the state of Florida and lots of sustainable hunting opportunities. But it's not as easy as you think. It takes knowledge, skill, and a little bit of luck to get one of these birds. Roger's going to tell us some more about it.
Just about everything in the woods wants to eat a wild turkey, so they're extremely wary. They have incredible eyesight and excellent hearing, so hunting them is a real challenge. The common approach to spring turkey hunting is for the hunter to make sounds that are like what the hen turkey would make to try and draw the male turkey or the gobbler in close to them. Hunters will use a variety of calling devices, including box calls, pot calls, diaphragm, or what we call mouth calls, to imitate the calls that a hen would make, including clucking and yelping. Two of the most frequent and basic calls that a hen turkey would make. And if you're good, or at least lucky, you get the thrill of hearing a gobbler as he's coming in, strutting and gobbling, looking for that hen that he can hear. And if you're fortunate enough to harvest a bird, you get to take home a healthy and delicious meal.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Chef Justin, it was great talking to you and learning about all these different recipes. For more information about Florida's wild turkeys, visit FWC's website and follow us on social media. Where can we find these recipes?
That's right. For these recipes and many, many more, go to follow freshfromflorida.com and don't forget to like us on Facebook. But before we go, Caitlin, I got one more surprise. We talked about utilizing the whole turkey, so here we are, the wishbone. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ah, nice. My wish has come true.